Good morning. It's Jennifer Quick again, here having a morning cup of coffee and a few thoughts for you. So today I'm not going to do a meditation, but today I wanted to talk about the great awakening that's happening. So what does this mean that we're awakening? What it means is that we are energetic beings, which we all know, we're energetic. And everything in our world is consisting of energy, and it's a matter of our frequencies is where we vibrate, right? When we go near somebody who's of the same vibration, we feel in harmony. When we're near somebody who doesn't have the same vibration of us, then we feel uncomfortable and we have started having some negative emotions towards it. So we vibrate away from it. It tells us where our frequency and where we belong. Anyhow, so we kind of have a basis of that. So conscious awakening, I guess actually a big part of it is conscious awakening is the fact that we are aware of that and that we are energy. Conscious awakening is moving our awareness from third dimensional through the fourth dimensional and into a fifth dimensional aspect. At fifth dimension, all information is there. This is where the Akashic records lie. This is where our soul self is. This is where our true self is that fifth dimension. So we are physical beings meant to express universal energy here on earth in a physical format. We are creators. We're divine creators. Every action that we take is creating. That's what we do. We create. So every time we take an action, and even when we choose not to act, we can't avoid the action of creation. We can't avoid choice, because even the act of not acting, of not doing, is a doing. We are that creative, right? Every single step we take, every single breath we take, we're creating something. And we can do it unconsciously or consciously. So at a conscious level of a 3D existence, third dimensional, earth plane, physical realm, we are very much just worried about our survival. We're thinking about how to feed ourselves. We're taking care of our bodies. We're building shelter. We're punching the clock to get a paycheck. And that's very third dimensional. It's very not much thought beyond what is right here in front of our eyes and taking everything for face value as to what it is. Not really thinking a whole lot beyond how do I eat, how do I survive, how do I procreate? Because yes, we do procreate. When now humans, we are always going to be at that third dimensional aspect. Our physical bodies are there, but we have this amazing brain power that we can think beyond where we physically are, so we can actually exist on multiple levels. So the next level after 3D, obviously, in survival, is moving into 4D, fourth dimensional consciousness. And at fourth dimensional consciousness, this is where our emotions and our thoughts are. And this is also where time and space is. It's fourth dimensional. The reason why we're not moving from third into fourth, and we're actually kind of moving through fourth into fifth, is because fourth is you can't actually stop at fourth. You can't actually fully exist at fourth. Fourth sort of is the veil, the dimension that we transfer through from our fifth dimensional self to our third dimensional self. It's where we bring that universal energy down into our physical bodies. So it's where our emotions and our thoughts, and it's really actually where we are processing the information at fifth dimensional, our soul information. It's where we process it and bring it down and make wise choices at our third dimensional. But it's also where we take our choices at third dimensional and we process what we've done and try and make sense of it at the fifth dimension, in alignment with the fifth dimension, and which is our soul self. So it's a transition. Fourth dimension is kind of a transition. It's a processing center is really what it is. So when we see that we're becoming more consciously awake, it means as a global society, we're moving out of this focus on survival, feeding ourselves, individual, very individual, and we are becoming much more consciously aware of the fifth dimensional aspect, which is our soul self. That is, and from the soul self, from the fifth dimensional aspect, we actually have access to all the other dimensions, all the way up to the 12th, which is the one. So at fifth dimensional aspect, we have an awareness that we are one with everyone, every other person, every other creature on the planet, every part of the earth itself. And we realize the earth itself is actually a life form. So that's a fifth dimensional. We have access to all information. At fifth dimension, we start interacting with beings of light. So these are our spirit guides, our higher self, our angels, archangels, the saints, and the masters, master teachers in our world. All of those beings, as well as like the brotherhood and sisterhood of the light. There's a lot of groups actually that work in those higher realms, and those are beings that have changed the vibration of their physical body and brought them up into the higher densities. So they actually still have third dimensional bodies, but they've actually changed them to the point where they're vibrating at such a higher pace they're up there, and that is possible. That is a possibility of what we are moving into, of taking these third dimensional bodies and transitioning their energy frequency into the fifth dimensional aspect. So it's a higher frequency of vibration. We will look different, but we're still, and we're far more aware. Energy moves a lot faster at the fifth dimension. Oh my gosh, it moves so fast at that space. And in order to be in that space, we really have to be aware of what our emotions and thoughts and how we can process those emotions, thoughts, because at fifth dimensional, that's where telepathy, how do I explain it? All those superhuman abilities that we have of learning, it's like the Matrix. You ever watch the movie The Matrix? It's like that. It's, when Neo goes in and I need to learn how to fly a helicopter, or I need to know a martial art, it just, boom, it's in them. They just download it. That's fifth dimensional. It's just downloaded. As from a third dimensional aspect, the internet is a third dimensional representation of the fifth dimension. It's all that information, right? All information is there. So that is what conscious awakening is we are becoming far more aware consciously of how we exist at a fifth dimensional aspect, where all information, where our soul self is. And now I'm just going to take a minute and I'm going to talk about the Akashic Records, because the Akashic Records are at the fifth dimension. This is, they are the Akashic Records are the collected signature of energy that belongs to one particular person. So each one of us has an energy signature, a frequency, and a collection of energy that has been us from the time throughout multiple lifetimes as we've gone through this earth experience. And it's all stored in an energetic form. So the Akashic Records is our way of looking at what that energy is. Now, Akashic Record, we are at soul level, we are designed very specifically and uniquely on how to express this universal energy in our physical bodies. And when we choose fourth dimensional action, which is our emotions and our thoughts, and when we choose third dimensional action, which is our physical action, that is not in alignment with how we are designed at fifth dimensional, we start creating these misalignments this is actually where fears come from, and we start having fear, we start taking action that reduces the amount of life force that is flowing into our bodies, because it flows down from that fifth dimensional aspect through our fourth and into our physical, and that's what animates us. So when we do that, we are reducing the amount of energy flowing into our bodies. So when we do Akashic Record readings, that's some of the big things we're looking for. Is we want to go in and we want to find out how we are designed. We want to find out where our actions have not been in alignment with how we designed, where those energies are stuck, which is what negative patterns are, and we want to get rid of them. We want to heal them and let them go, and realign our energy channels so that we are accessing that fifth dimensional self with clarity. And when we do that, we start to and we align our actions with how we're designed fifth dimensionally. We start having all this energy flowing into us, and this creativity and imagination, and the light world just starts flowing for us, and things start aligning with us, and they start we become in flow, and synchronicity just unfolds. This is how we're meant to actually function. We're meant to be in flow. We are meant to be in universal alignment. So that's what the Akashic Records are. That is just a brief talking about what my thoughts are around the Great Awakening. I highly encourage you to embrace your imagination especially while you're at home in our quarantine time. So embrace your imagination, go quiet within. That fifth dimensional aspect, all that information, it's accessed through inside of the human body, through our cells. If you have done any information, done any studies of the biology of belief or any kind of other epigenetic studies, they will tell you that our cells in our body, each one of them has an antenna that attunes to different energy. And learning how to attune those cells to what we want to create starts bringing that energy flow into our lives. And when that's in alignment with how we're designed, this is when magic starts happening, miracles start happening, and life just becomes this amazing and passionate thing. So I'm going to leave you with that. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy your imagination. Enjoy your quarantine. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Enjoy your coffee too. Bye.